they won the pistol, and now it's CEX that on the force buy.
Yep. Obviously, you're expecting to see CEX not doing quite so well here. You were talking about the scouts and where we're going to be seeing them playing. So I'm hoping we see them. Have a fair amount of impact here. Obviously, it is a bit of an investment, and Smear and Thomas being on them, I can only assume we're going to be seeing great things.
Yeah, generally the two AWPers on the CT side for CEX is going to be Smooy and Thomas. Obviously, quite a stark difference between those two AWPers, but at the same time, Thomas is very crisp with that rifle.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a disparity, but I don't know. Thomas has been capable at times. There's just been awkward moments, as with any player. At the moment, though, it is going to be Xenex making their move, coming fast out onto the B site, getting aggressive, wrapping around, and finding frag after frag, but not on Cinder. He manages to stay alive and picks up two. Thomas comes in with a scout, and that's going to be Peggy and Dancy's left as the last two alive. Now, Cinder, Smooyer, and Thomas in a great position to actually make this one competitive, as Xenex don't have an easy route to the bomb.
No kit on these CT players, but Dancy's is such low HP, and the bomb isn't down yet. Dancy's there, managed to get the refrag, 27 HP. One shot from these scouts will take him down. He's got 40 seconds. The bomb is right under the B bomb site.
Yeah, and there's no utility on Dancy's either, so trying to peek out, trying to get out without getting tagged by one of these scouts is going to be extremely difficult, especially if Thomas is sat right there, but the shot goes off and nothing connects, meaning that Thomas has to go for a second, apparently, after Dancy's decides he's going to be re-peeking on the same angle. I think assuming the man had fallen off, but being caught out a little bit by the position. That's CEX managing to come straight back with a round of their own, so we're going to be seeing a little bit of a battle here as we kick things off.
That's the thing, if you're Cinder and you're in that position, like boosted up on that side, not really boosted, you can get there on your own, but when you're in that position, if you crouch and look down, it's so hard for the T players when they run out ramp and they're focused on other things. We saw there Shane flashing himself through that grey train smoke, just flashing himself through there, trying to get close connector, trying to get those early frags with Mac 10 to rack up that dosh. But the thing is, when you play that fast, something small like what Cinder did there can catch him off guard, but Thomas with that scout takes that crisp headshot onto Peggy with the 5-7 spraying down. One gets another one as well. It's Brody as well, he chimes in. Thomas with the scout, low HP, just trying to pick up that next frag. Manages to get 4 for that round, and it's going to pad his stats just a little bit.
And guess who's gone again?
And Smoothie has been kicked off for the anti-cheat. So, we may have to go to another break there. I'm sorry to have to inform you about that, but he keeps dropping out of the server, so we will catch you guys later. Actually, no, we're just going to talk for a little bit. So, the round they won again by CEX. They got the I want to say the re-round, but it's not really a term you can say, but 1-1, they won the pistol, then they lost it, sorry, Xenex win pistol, they lose the force by the CEX, Cinder then in such a great position, managed to take him down, and then CEX win their force by, so it's going to be 2-1, maybe potentially 3-1 if they can win this Glock no armor round. So we'll be going to a short break, and we will catch you guys soon. Not just yet, not just yet. Apologies, I can't. It's difficult for me to hear this in the AM. Apologies.
Snods is a liar, by the way.
What can I say? What can I say? So, actually, Smooth's back on the server. Does he get kicked off for the anti-cheat? That's the question.
Oh, we'll just have to wait and find out. The suspense is killing me. But first, we're going to be talking about what Xenex have got planned, Snods. Obviously, we saw in the last round they didn't really invest too heavily. A lot of the time, you're going to be seeing, obviously, the CT team comes back after the pistol round and finds themselves the second. Then you'd normally expect to see maybe a force spike coming out. Something to answer back, something to try and grab another round, and something to try and put yourself ahead until somebody finds themselves 2 rounds and things can settle back to normal. Xenex decide not to.
Yeah, so if Xenex lose this first gun round, it may start to be CEX winning their half if they can get a few of those rounds, maybe make it 5-1 or so. But we are live on the server, so if we can go back into that and actually see what these players are doing in-game.
Well, this round, as you said, it is going to be Xenex with not much once more. Not just Glocks, this time going to be Deagles, a Tech 9 and a P250 along with a single flash, but not going to be anything too substantial either. So obviously we're going to be seeing CEX taking it as an opportunity rather to stack up that cash, and indeed they are. Brody seeing
such a fast round as well. Wow.
With some of the SMGs, Thomas coming in with a 5-7, and as you said, a very quick round. Xenex, unfortunately, unable to do much more than find that one frag before it's all gone.
Just looking at the frags as well, Thomas 10-0-1. Most of his kills, though, are the eco frags, so the most impactful, but regardless, he's going to be stacking up that dosh. So, 3-1, 2-round lead now for CEX. Can they win the first buy round? Can they put Xenex onto that reset economy? Can they get the 5th 5-1 lead if they win this?
Well, CEX not looking in the best position to win it at the moment, as they are still grandfathering a scout and a P90 through, but Smooth's picked up the ult, as one would expect, and they're going to be trying to see what they can do. Initially, not too great. Rezu going to be spotting a player, but not able to do too much damage as he is tagged down through the smoke himself. But Smooya, well, sorry, I thought we were going to be seeing something happen there. Smooya actually going to now be taking it aggressive. Can't find the man getting aggressive on him, so he takes it the other way. The flash doesn't land, and that's going to be a frag for him on Jakey. So even when CeX can't pick it up passively, they've got a man who is more than happy to take it aggressive to do just that.
There's actually so many pot flashes you can do for Ivy as well. Unfortunately for Jakey, doesn't catch Smooya then with his AWP, he'll take him down. So 1 man lead, 1 minute left on the clock, and the bomb is looking like it's going to be towards B, but there's already 2 players here for CeX.
Yeah, 2 players going to be waiting down there. Obviously Smooya with the AWP watching for that push down ramp, now switching his view up towards upper. Also going to be having Rezu there as he has been from the beginning. This is the reason why they can do this, right? Cinder, he's taken himself around the back. He's trying to go for that flank through halls, and it's going to be giving him so much information about, 1, the fact that Xenex aren't on A, 2, the fact that they are going to be pushing B and where they're going to be coming from, as well as that, if they don't notice that he's done this, they're going to be in big trouble.
And that's...
Oh dear, and it comes in, look at that, 1 frag for him there. Can't get any more as Dancy's actually manages to get behind the man who got behind, but as he does, he finds he's the last man left alive.
Oh, it goes down to the nade.
And the nade is going to finish him off. Smooya, I think, not even necessarily intending for that one to be a frag, but...
Thing is, Smooya reads the game so well. He pushes Ivy, he kills Jakey there, that's solo Ivy, and then he instantly rotates towards B to watch B upper and B lower. This is the thing. Once you kill that player Ivy, if you're the T side, you feel so constricted. You can't really go out team main by yourselves without any pressure towards Ivy, so instead they opt to go back towards Whitehall's. Go B. The thing is, though, Smooya, they're watching the cross between the trains, managed to take that player down who had the bomb, I believe, and actually decimating that A attack.
Yeah, something lovely to see, and obviously it puts Xenex in a bit of a tight spot. Again, we're going to be finding these guys on the pistols, this time with a heavy presence down towards Ivy. I think, again, expecting a little bit of aggression to come out from the CTs, potentially just trying to catch somebody off, but this round nothing comes. As you said, Smooya can read the game well, and instead of heading there, he's actually going to put himself all the way back up in B halls, and is going to be finding out that there's nobody there to face him bar 1. JT goes for it, can't find anything, and Smooya is able to tell the rest of his team exactly what's happening.
Thomas, though, smoked off. He might give the call that they could be going towards the CT trains, and it's all down to Rezu now. Can he spray them as they cross? Actually, no, doesn't manage to get the kill there, so Smooya knows they're going to be coming from the flank. Can he get into position to get a few frags and stop Xenex taking this B bomb site?
Well, at the moment, he's managed to find a place that they are not going to be seeing anybody just yet. Again, unless he decides to go aggressive. Xenex, they want to wait. These guys want people to come to them. They want to have a chance to use the pistols, and you can see CeX aren't willing to really give them the chance. Peggy, the only man to find himself a fight just there, going to be taken down immediately, and Dancy's so unfortunate on the timing as he turns away.
Yeah, Rezu there.
Rounds the corner.
Rezu cleans up that last frag. It's going to be 5-1 for CeX. And as you mentioned with the Ivy push, there's no reason to push Ivy. You know that Xenex won the half buy. Why would you even give them the chance to be close range with those Tech 9s? So instead, they opt to play back. Thomas doesn't get too greedy. Once he gets smoked off, just spams the smoke with a 5-7. Doesn't want to jump through it crazily. There's no reason to. So smart play coming up from CeX that round.
Yeah, doing what they needed to do to secure a round that really should have been theirs. Obviously, though, we're going to be seeing Xenex now coming back into it with a set of smokes over towards A being lined up. I mean, a fairly comprehensive buy behind them. Shaney this time going to be on the AWP, and I'm wondering where we're going to be seeing him setting up, and if he's going to be trying to tackle Smooya or if he's going to be going for anybody else.
Thing is, there is the double AWP setup, so I imagine it's just going to be Thomas headed towards Green Train or Ivy, just watching the Ivy push by himself, having that long-range duel from Ivy, and then Smooya can go wherever he wants to. He's actually pushed up the B halls now, giving the information to his teammates. And this second play here, Rezu, he can push B, and they can actually get the flank on if they go for A.
At the moment, I'm just hoping they were watching the match earlier, because Cinder, he's back where he always is.
And now flashes into team main. He knows that these players are going to be set up for Smooya. He gets the ball off guard. Manages to get one, but gets traded by Dancy. This is crucial. Now the A attack is weakened. Defense is weakened.
Yeah, the A defense is going to be weakened, but Brody's still going to be there to see what he can do. Again, it's a 1-for-1 trade. Nobody able to get more than that, apart from apparently Thomas with the AWP. Manages to find Dancy's, doesn't get refrag, but is going to be right on the verge of letting that happen. 15 points of health for the man. He has to be careful, but he does have himself Smooya and Rezu to help, and that is going to be all he needs. Thomas and Smooya team up on Peggy. JT gets taken down by a crisp headshot, and that is going to be CeX finding themselves at 6-1.
This is the CT side that we wanted to see from CeX. So this is the thing. This is the time where these AWPs and Smooya himself come into such fruition when they just get these early picks and they manage to do so much damage into the T attack.
Yeah. No. It is really nice to see CeX stepping up in this way. It's really nice to see these guys playing as well as they have, especially when you consider that the only round Xenex has managed to find so far has been that pistol round. CeX come back second round, and they just don't give anything more away. These guys are dominating right now. I'm not sure what we're going to be seeing on the T side, but CT side definitely looking like we could see them go all the way right now.
The thing is, the CT aggression has been so good. You have Smooya pushing B constantly, and again, he's getting that information that there's no one B, they're going to be towards Whitehall's or A main or somewhere Ivy. The thing is, Cinder flashes in, then he hears the steps, he knows they're setting up for smokes, gets that wide peek, manages to get that crisp headshot onto that play, but unfortunately gets traded by Dances, and the thing is, once they go for that A attack, they just get mopped up.
Yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate that he does, but as you said, it does set things up quite nicely for the rest of them to sort of play off the A site. Gives them that information, as well as that when you think about him and then Brody C both actually taking the face, it gives a lot of time for the rest of the players to set up across the A site. It gives a lot of time for those rotates to come in, and it means that the CT defense is going to be potentially even stronger than it may have otherwise been.
So you get that 1-for-1 trade outside of T main, T spawn. You get the 1-for-1 trade, Cinder going down to Dances, but at the same time, all the information is there. But at the same time, Xenex could have just gone back towards T spawn, gone Whitehall's or gone B, but at the same time, they had that player pushing. I think it was Rezu above Potdog. Not too sure, so you can give the call that they're not going B. Instead, they're running out A main. So now, 5-round lead for CeX. We had a tactical pause from Xenex. I'm not sure if it's tactical or technical. So many pauses in this game, it's getting quite frustrating. But I just want to get into the game. I want the counter-strike to happen. So, 5-round lead for CeX. And we're going to have... Actually, we're going back into the game. Thank God. We are going back into the game. So, 5-round lead for CeX. Half by coming up for Xenex. Can they get some frags, some rounds on the board?
Oh. I mean, you're hoping we're going to be seeing some of these rounds come up soon for these guys, obviously, as they are going to be wanting to get something done on their T side. But this one, again, doesn't look like one that's going to be panning out too well. It's Tech9's all the way and a fast push through. Peggy, though, going to be able to start things off nicely, at least. Brody C finds one before the man can get the refrag, but nobody else goes down just yet. Thomas and Cinder work in tandem there, though. Make sure that we do find CeX in the lead, at least for the moment, and Jakey's going to be the main threat now. He has himself a flash, he has himself some Kevlar, and he has himself an M4. It's going to be all about what we see going down. Peggy, what was that?
2 versus 3, no, actually 3 versus 1, apologies. CeX with the man lead. Peggy, though, joining that play. He's only 6 HP, so the question is, can he take this 1v1 duels? These CeX players are low HP, 41, 45, and 19, but with just the 6 HP, Tech9, I don't really see this happening. I'm just going to be 7-1 in favor of CeX, and that half buy for Xenex, not netting them that bomb plant.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from what we saw a minute ago as well with this Tech9, I don't think we're going to be seeing too much coming out of the rest of this round. At this point, it is, as you said, all going to be about whether he can find himself one more frag or not. I mean, there's no reason not to at this point. He's got 45 seconds left. He might as well try and play for something. And here, round the bomb train, though, and he can't take anything. As Smooth with the AWP again is a little bit too quick.
Indeed, he is. So, the buy now for Xenex, they have enough for double AWP T-side setup, which some teams do. I mean, Envious, not Envious, sorry, G2 Gamers too, they love running that double AWP setup on their T side, having Smiths and Shocks going for those picks towards Ivy and towards T main. Question is, though, how do they utilize the CT double AWP setup from Smooth and Thomas?
Well, at the moment, it looks like we're going to be seeing, actually, wait, let me get my head straight. It looks like we're going to be seeing Smooya again over towards that B site that he does seem to favor. Thomas hanging around more in the Ivy area, but early on, neither of them getting a chance to show themselves off. Instead, it's going to be Brody C with the first engagement onto Peggy. And a nice little angle there that's not expected. Manages to net one more frag for CeX, but look at this. Look at Shane, he's angled a flash.
Oh my goodness. Why the reface? Smooth just refaced him and goes down to Shaney. I mean, you've spotted the play. You know the ops there, just fall back and play this. He's given up the 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be perfect. Obviously, Smooya gets that flash off, and then oh, the whiff's there. Maybe I fall back. I know that there's an AWP posted up. Information gained, still one-man advantage. It's great, but he gives it away.
The thing is, though, if you imagine he falls back, right, and you're Shane, you now have to peek into Smooya's AWP. Instead of vice versa, where Smooya's peeked into Shaney's AWP. I mean, bit too hot-headed there on Smooya. Instead, wanted to just kill everyone. He just wants to kill everyone instead of maybe falling back and playing the more passive game. But 1-for-1 trade. Actually, Cinder chimes in there, takes down a player. JT dropping out from Popdog, takes down Cinder. 3 versus 3.
Yeah, Cinder responded on quickly, but Brody C again going to be in a position where he can do damage. Apparently not before Shaney can get his say. That AWP tapping away finds one, looking to see if he can do more damage to the man at bomb train, and indeed he does. Meaning it's going to be Rezu behind a smoke to try and sort the rest out, and he can't do anything. The bomb goes down, he decides to push, and unfortunately for him, Shaney is already posted up. A wonderful round for the man with the AWP on the side of Xenex.
Yeah, Shaney there with that 4K fundamental player there from Shaney, winning him the second round for Xenex on this T side. I mean, if they can get a few more rounds, they can actually have a chance to win this game. So, But the problem is the money is so good on CeX. They have enough to buy for a couple more rounds, even if they lose each one.
Yeah, I mean, that is an issue that you sometimes face. Obviously, if the CT economy gets out of hand, they are going to be able to put up a fight, but once you break it, you break it.
Yeah,
so if Xenex can keep winning now, if they can get these rounds in quick, then they actually have a chance to put up a fairly strong half. As you said, though, at the moment it's going to be CEX back with everything they could possibly want.
The problem is that goes both ways. I mean, you talk about CeX running out of money. What if Xenex lose this? That's when they get reset, and we could be looking at 9-2 at that point. Smooth though, Ivy. Does he spot a tiny gap? I don't think anyone's going to walk into that, so he's fine just for now. Bomb and 3 players towards Ivy for the Xenex T side. The question is, where will they push, and will they walk into these orbs?
Right now, it doesn't look like there's much danger of that happening. The smoke over towards Ivy manages to ward Smooya off for the time being, but he's still actually going to be watching through a tiny gap. So whatever happens now, Peggy has to cross. If Smooya's still watching, that is a dangerous angle. If they decide to push, it's going to be even worse. This man knows what he's doing. Fortunately for them, he decides he's going to be dropping the smoke and getting out of dodge, not wanting to take that fight. And you can see the response from Xenex coming in as a result. They go, okay, sick. We have a chance now to make the push happen.
Sick indeed. Actually, only 3 players for that CT side. Here's Smooya though, on top of green train. There's that frag onto Jakey. Brody as well, watching the cross sprays down. Peggy is a 2-man leader, ready for CEX. And questions, can JT on his team get the reply frags? Brody see, what is he looking at? Completely caught off guard. Smooya gets another one. And then Thomas as well, the second orb chimes in. It's going to be Shaney left in the 1 versus 4. And Xenex, they might be reset.
Indeed, they are. Smooya manages to find himself Shaney to end the round with only 1 frag going Xenex's way. You can see there, I think if we look at the economy, that leaves 3 of the players languishing around the sort of $1,500 area. Jakey obviously going to be on more, alongside Shaney. Both of these players having a fairly substantial amount, and actually that means we're going to be seeing an AWP coming straight out, some Tech-9s to back it up, and another round from Xenex to attempt to take it.
The force buy coming from Xenex, they know they need to get some rounds on the board before it gets a bit too late, before it gets that 12-3 or even worse, potentially half. So, question is, Shane is the only person right now with the not the utility, but the firepower. What can he make? What entries and what openings onto these sites can he make with his AWP? 2 players B, however. Actually, Smooya, will he make the same mistake last time as peeking into Shaney's AWP?
Well, this time I don't think Shaney's going to be there to watch him. Instead, it's going to be Peggy behind. He spots just the edge of the model, and so he knows there's a man there.
Wow.
It's a distraction. Shaney peeks into him off the back of it, finds himself the first. Peggy's quick with a follow-up, and that means that the B site is just busted wide open. All the room in the world for Xenex to move around, and actually a fair amount of time to start getting those afterplants set up, as well as CEX are very slow getting through there.
Jacob, giving away his life, actually making a slight opportunity for the CTs to go for the retake, but actually Brody see the flank, gets traded though, so Thomas in the 1 versus 3, instead of going for that chance to win that clutch, which is very low, instead opts to save that AWP and all that money. So, Xenex have won the force buy. Shaney's AWP coming to fruition. He's managed to win them that round. Actually, no, he didn't. Did he get any flags with his AWP? Yeah, he did 2. My bad. Couldn't see that. So, 2 flags for Shaney, 2 flags for Peggy. They've saved the AWP as well on the T side. Both teams saving the AWP. Thing is, though, that beat upper push not really giving much for Smooya. Must be so frustrated getting caught off there by Shaney's AWP.
Yeah, I mean, it was just that thing, wasn't it? It was him trying to give it a little bit of a show, spotting the edge of the player model and just hoping that Peggy peeked out into him. But at the time, it wasn't that dangerous. As we saw Shaney decide to go for a little bit of a wider peek, as we saw him trying to clear it out so Peggy could actually move, because they were aware that he might be stuck in that position. Unfortunately, it's just an easy frag against a distracted player. Nothing really that Smooya could have done there different, aside from having somebody else ready to support him. It's a little bit unfortunate. This round, though, we're going to be seeing more aggression. There are going to be 2 of them waiting. Smooya going to be able to find himself one onto Dancy's. JT doesn't realize there's a second man there this time, and it means it's a 2-for-1 trade from CEX right from the start.
Already a 1-man lead, as you just mentioned, and actually Thomas with the AWP, actually. Doesn't drop it over to Smooya. Falls out the 5-7, takes down Peggy. Cinder comes behind Blue Train, takes him down. Jake in the 1 versus 4. Where is his teammates gone? He must be thinking that. Managed to take 1. They get the gun off of that player, but gets traded out. So, what happened that round? Thomas with the AWP into the Smooya. Smooya's pretty cool there. Let's double push B, get the information, just trade frag me, Rezu. Hold B, have them force themselves into the A take, force the T's to go A, and have Thomas and co kill them.
Yeah, it worked.
6-round lead as well for CEX.
So yeah, not too much to worry about on their side. I can see why they're willing to take risks like that. Xenex, at the same time, they're getting desperate, so we're going to be seeing more and more risks coming out of them. It's going to be another broken buy round where we see an AWP backed
Finally
by Tech9s and an AK, and this time it's going to be Smooya to come out on top from the start. Shaney taken down. JT going to be the next man through, and he's actually going to find himself one. Smooya not able to respond on the man with the frag, but does find himself Dances. There's a little bit of consolation.
Okay, good. So he doesn't go for the overconfident reface, gets tagged up to 11 HP, falls back, but he's got himself 3 kills already for this round, and he's put a 2-man lead already for CEX.
It's exactly what you want to be having in this situation.
Oh
Cinder's going to be in the perfect position to finish off the last two. A little bit of a whiffed UMP spray. Not going to be too consequential as Jakey can't get his wits about him fast enough. Doesn't manage to trade any bullets with the man and will find himself dropped to the USP instead. CEX now find themselves at 10-3 and look to close this one out in a position where they can essentially just take match point off the back of the pistol.
So the thought there from Xenex was, if we force buy this round, eco this 14th round, we'll then have another buy round for the 15th round. So 7 rounds leading now for CEX. That one-way smoke from Mezu coming out, trying to see if he can spot players, but actually hears them, sprays the player, bomb is down, information's given. They're gonna have the CTs rotating in. Thomas as well chances in with the AWP frag. 5-7 frags. So Shaney goes down 4 frags for Rezu that round and 1 for Thomas. So final round, no AWP for the T side.
Definitely does throw up a couple of issues, although at the same time, potentially going to be seeing it favouring them, as if you don't try and take the AWP battles against Smooya, you're not going to be losing the AWP battles against Smooya.
I mean, the idea, maybe they're thinking, oh, we can just smoke them off and then attack the bomb sites that way. I mean, the last time that happened, Smooya jumped on the green train and got 2 kills, so.
Well, never said you could shut them out completely. Oh, apparently you can. Jakey going to be starting things off onto the man we were talking so much about as he finds the first into the round. Peggy going to be taking a little bit of damage as they try and continue through Ivy, and it's going to be Thomas here now to stop them with the AWP. Catches the edge of Dances to keep things going, but obviously Xenex ready for a little bit of CT aggression. They're sort of getting used to that by now. Going to be finding more frags.
Yeah, 3 versus 3 with a 1 minute 15 on the clock, and they know the bomb's towards Ivy and actually takes him down. Cinder there with that frag, takes the bomb down. Question is, how can the T's reformate their attack? Can they get the bomb towards the site and get it down with 1 minute left? And the problem is, the CTs know where they are.
Yeah, I mean, 1 minute's a lot of time, and you'd think that that's exactly what they need at this point, but as you were pointing out, the CTs know exactly where to be looking. The Ts don't have a clue. As you can see there, Shaney, he doesn't know where to look. He takes his chance, and unfortunately for him, it's not going to be working out. Peggy's in the same situation, but actually slightly worse off as he's going to be sat on 16 points of health, and he only has 2 flashes to try and make his way out. That's 1 position given away to him, but obviously in the amount of time it's taken him to walk through here, that could have been changed. Anybody could be anywhere, and so he has to check everything moving through to site.
And the thing is, though, CEX with their aggression managed to take down that last player. Peggy will go down. It's a 12-3 half, but we saw this yesterday where UFrag versus generic team name, where both teams having awful T sides and actually strong CT sides and managed to have a close game at the end of it. Thing is, though, will Xenex have that strong CT side too?
And at this point, you've got to pray.
Yeah, you have to pray. You have to pray for that pistol. If CEX win this pistol, could just be game over instantly.
Exactly. When you're in the position where what is largely considered the most random round in the game.
Well,
I would say it's largely considered probably one of the rounds where the most interesting things can happen. Let's put it that way. Is what's sort of sitting between you and 15-3. You've got to be a little bit worried. And CEX are just going to be dashing through Ivy, seeing what they can do, closing on the A site from 2 sides and making a good job of it.
Oh, Dances there, gets that crisp headshot. The thing is, though, JT is behind Cinder. Guess she takes him down. It's now Smooya and Brody. Smooya goes down. It's a 1 versus 3 now for Brody and Xenex. Somehow they managed to win this most crucial round. Question is, though, can Brody stop them?
Well, he's got the bomb in his hands, but he doesn't have any utility to use, so this one's going to be all about his positioning and his aim, and unfortunately for him, he's just not going to be quick enough as Peggy peeks out from behind Electric and rips his head clean off. Xenex find themselves on 4, and CEX are left in a position where, well, I think they're going to be looking to do what we saw in the first half.
Yep. So what we saw there was Dances towards that CT train, peeking out for the right side of A site, managed to catch those players rotating from Ivy to green train, trying to get their bomb down. Dances the scout. Actually, whoa, Smooya takes down Dances. It's going to be the opening frag now for CX. Can they get this force by win? Problem is, though, Jakey with this MP9, can he mow them down?
He's going to be in a great position, but against armored players, you'd expect to see something. I think they've flashed themselves. A fair few players there are going to be blind, and unfortunately that means nothing's going to be coming of the push. Nobody able to even put 1 bullet into the man's head, and it means it's going to be all Smooya this round. He found himself the first, but finding 4 more I think is a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, most likely going to go down now. Xenex, great play there from Jakey. Managed to get 3 kills there, mowing down those players, and Ivy with his MP9 and pulling out his pistol, getting another one. Can Smooya take away a rifle from the CT side? That's probably the best thing they can get from this.
Yeah, but always taking a rifle away is going to be difficult. Obviously, a couple of guys holding on to SMGs, as long as they're close to each other, can just drop, pick it up in response, and they're not going to be losing too much money. Still, anybody he can kill, it's going to be armor taken away, so there's a fair amount of money to be gained, especially as a few of the players do have head armor in response to those pistols. And if you can find any of them, it's going to be great. I think maybe catching a little bit of a sight of Jakey there as he goes for the jump, but apparently unable to react in time. I think already committed to jumping over towards the side, so doesn't manage to find the shot. Xenex find themselves on 5, and CEX find themselves in a position where they have to concede this 6th round to Xenex.
Yeah, CEX going for that full eco, just Glocks. Actually, yeah, just Glocks, just a deagle on Smooya. He's going to try to get an opening frag or just try to take out some guns from the Xenex side. Thing is, they're dancing with that MP9, probably dropped over from Jakey, trying to mop up a few kills, get some money. And there's a great round there, great 4K from Jakey in that previous one. Dancing over the MP9, sprays down one, goes for the second, takes down Brody as well. Smooya on top of this blue train. Oh, that's a crispy shot, takes down Dances, and Peggy now pushing from connector, takes down Cinder, but Smooya once again last alive, just a deagle. This time it's a deagle, was a scout. Can he get any more headshots?
Oh, obviously he's going to be looking, but he doesn't have the bomb this time. He doesn't have any armor. He doesn't have any nades. It is just, I think, praying, again, just praying that somebody walks into his sights, because guess what? Xenex don't have to go for him. They go, okay, the man's got a deagle. What does that matter to us? If he stays alive, that's all he's going to really be able to carry through with a couple of $1,000s behind it. So it's sort of Smooya's turn to act, but wherever he peaks, he is going to be having huge, huge troubles unless it's just an instant shot.
Thing is, the Dancers has, JT has this SMG, and if he can get this kill, man, it should be quite important for the CT economy. So if he can just jump into his view, spray him down, and not risk being one tap, but Smooya catches off Shaney takes down Smooya. 4 players staying alive for Xenex, and they can actually mount this comeback.
Yeah, they're definitely getting on with it. Obviously, 12-3 isn't the best place to be, but 12-6 is looking a lot more optimistic.
Indeed it is. So no orb coming out from the T side. Usually seeing Smooya wrecking havoc with that orb. Instead, having no orb, do they opt to a fast out T main? Or maybe go for the smokes? And actually, yes, will be a few smokes between the trains, trying to get out to the A bomb site and trying to get a few frags.
Yeah, smokes out between the trains to cover the crossing, and then just looking for the frags to finish things off. But Dances, on the boost we have seen used so much over the past couple of days, manages to find himself Thomas. A 1-for-1 trade, still going to be in favor of the T's, and if they can keep this up, then they might actually be in with a chance of winning the round as well. Peggy, JT, and Dancy is going to be the players left to try and close this one out, but the AWP on the retake not going to be the most effective thing, and Rezu survives the first. Dancy decides to go for the repeak, and that is the end of him. Peggy and JT now both going to be coming in from the same position. A few T's left to find them now, actually down to 2 as it's Cinder and Brody C to make this work. Unfortunately though, Brody C peeks out, and on the low health he's at, he can't find the frag. Cinder decides to go at the same time, but both CTs are just watching and waiting.
Great retake there coming from Xenex. Actually, Dance is getting unlucky there. Manages to tag Rezu up when he went for that repeak onto the A bomb site. So, 5 rounds apart now for these two teams. Question is, can Xenex keep stacking these rounds in their favor? Can they keep stacking up the cash so that even if they do lose a round, they won't be put on the reset?
Well, at the moment, we are most likely going to be seeing another one come out on the board for Xenex. It's looking like this is going to go to a 4-round deficit, as it is going to be CEX once again with the pistols just heading in fast towards that A site. You can see they just want to get this bomb down. The Molotovs are coming in to stop them. They're like, what? We'll run through them. They're not bothered at all. It's going to be frags, it's going to be the bomb. It's unlikely to be a round win unless something magical happens in there. We can see Xenex starting to respond. Shaney and Peggy find one apiece. Even with their positions on this site, they're going to be so vulnerable to everything. Any long-range angle going to be exploited. The CTs, obviously, with a lot of space to move around, just going to be picking them off one by one till it's Smooya left, the last alive, and he, as well, unable to do anything. So Xenex find an 8th round. This is a 4-round deficit now, and this is getting a little bit too close. CEX struggling.
So CEX, they may lose that round, but the thing is they got the bomb down. So in their eyes, they've not won it, but in their eyes, they've accomplished their mission. They got the bomb down. This allows Smooth to have that AWP and full set of nades with the Tech 9. But Xenex reply, they're going to have double AWP.
Again. I mean, it worked for them before. Why not put it to use the second time? This time, though, Smooya, as you said, going to be equipped with the tool to respond. And he's just going to be taking it passive up into halls, waiting for the peak. Shaney straight out into him, unable to find the frag. A little bit of justice for Smooya from earlier. Allows CEX a 1-man lead.
So 1 minute 30 on the clock, 5 versus 4. CeX have the man advantage. The question is, how can they use it? Can they keep trading out their players? If they play this smart, they'll play slow, allow Xenex to funnel out their CT defense, and then from that point on, all they have to do is play the trades and they'll win.
Yeah, looks like they
Oh
keep
my
doing
goodness,
that.
it's a flick.
What Smooya? A beautiful flick onto Jakey to find a second frag for himself and for his team, and to keep them in the lead. And look at that, Xenex are just shaking. They start to respond to what's happening, but they don't have a clue as CeX continue to shift things up.
I'd be surprised if I saw Smee just drop out the server right now for not having anti-cheat on. That flick was disgusting. Regardless, 4 rounds now, and 2-man advantage for CeX already. Smee getting both those picks with an incredible flick.
Yeah, you're talking about trading it out. Smooya's talking about an ace. No real worry for the man as they do manage to find their way out onto this A site. Obviously, 2 players of Xenex being on B going to give them a little bit of trouble, rotating in quickly as the smokes go down in connector to stop them having a go. As well as that, you're going to be seeing Peggy over towards Tunnel 1/Ivy, hoping to find some sort of angle onto these guys. But at this point, they've been given a huge amount of time to think about where they're going to be going.
Yeah, CT's opting to save. They know they haven't really got much of a real chance to win this round. And the thing is, when you're running double op setup, it really does dent your economy. The thing is, they can dance to take a few guns out of their hands, and Thomas will go down. The thing is, the CeX economy isn't that good, so any gun they can take off of these CT players will reap them rewards.
I mean, especially if somebody's able to find Smooya. I doubt we're going to be seeing it because it is just Peggy there with an M4, but that would be monumental. As you said, though, the couple of players that do go down definitely have impact for Xenex, definitely worth the risk. And they actually even managed to recover a second AWP, so we're going to be seeing that setup running through here into round 22.
So Smooth, both those entries there, playing very well with the aggressive AWP. And the thing is, you've got to be able to answer back. Shinny, they're going for that re-peek. So not re-peek, but going for that peek towards the white halls in B spawn, in T spawn, apologies. So, 5 round apiece. Now 5 rounds leading for CeX. Can they keep the ball rolling until they get that 16?
Well, I mean, if Smooya can keep doing Smooya things, then there's definitely a chance. He finds himself one onto Shaney again at the start, but this time unable to follow up with the second. Dances comes back into him. JT goes for the aggressive push into B halls and finds himself Brody C as well. And this is CeX in the position that they managed to inflict upon Xenex in the last round. This is them now fighting with a man down and a long time left on the clock. Obviously, you'd say it's going to be easier to fight out on the T side, but it's still going to leave them in an awkward position.
Still the 1-man lead though for the CT side, so most likely been hoping to take this round and mount their comeback. The question is, what can Peggy say to answer back to this? Takes down Cinder. 2-man advantage now. Can Thomas chime in and get the refrag?
Well, Thomas going to be looking to ignore. Peggy peeks out, the frag comes through, and that is exactly what CeX want. They get the bomb down, they find themselves the site. Now it's just a question of holding off the retake. That, although, is easier said than done. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 situation. Dancy's JT and Jakey coming through, and Jakey actually going to be coming through completely unnoticed on the flank. Picks up Rezu with no issue whatsoever, and it means it's going to be Thomas left as the last. And I mean, unfortunately for him, there was literally nothing there. He looks for Jakey. Obviously, even if he finds that frag, they know exactly where he is at that point. There's 2 more players ready to take him down. It's just a numbers game that Xenex managed to play extremely well.
Such a crucial flank there, Jakey taking him down, and actually CeX have enough money to buy. They're going to go for the force buy, take down onto Thomas, or onto Smooya. The question is, will Smooya continue to keep getting these opening frags? And with the double up setup onto Xenex, will they go for some CT aggression now?
Well, at the moment it looks like we're going to be seeing Smooya not able to start anything off immediately, as we might have been looking at before. Again, as you say, we might see a little bit more of a foray into Ivy. There's already a man lining it up, but that's going to be Jakey, not one of the AWPs. So he decides to take a little bit more passive, I think, as they realize Rezu is there. Aside from that, it's going to be essentially what you'd expect to see. Xenex playing 2 men towards B. Maybe a little bit early from that, but obviously 1 man in connector leaves those rotates open. Shaney making sure he has the line down on A site, and CeX really relegated to just 1 strip of the map at this point.
They're playing so passive towards A. I imagine they're going to go for that retake A setup, but the thing is, the molly comes out, catches off Brody C. Smoke there will stop him from being spammed. Oh, sorry, killed. Question is, though, can JT stop the bomb plan? Actually, these T-sided players, they're running back. They're going to go towards Pop Dog and try to get this A attack on, but Dancy's spots the play onto Electric, gets the flick onto Rezu.
I was going to say, don't want to go for the first man. The second man's the one to take down, and he does exactly that. Watches for the information, grabs a frag as well, and manages to throw a little bit of spanner in the works for CeX. Unfortunately, Brody C in that time has found his way out and towards the B side. It's going to be causing a little bit of grief before Peggy can shut him down. And look at this. These guys just don't they can't make up their minds. They decided instead of A, they're going to be heading back towards B, and actually they're going to be finding an easier situation over there, as it is just going to be Peggy looking to see what he can get done, and it's going to allow for at least the bomb plant, which on A...
The thing is, though, there's Jake in there with Thomas. This actually spots him out, but he goes down, but Peggy will get the refrag onto Thomas. Smooth in the 1 versus 3. Not really much chance. He does get the opening frag. Oh, doesn't quite connect that second shot, but will reface towards Dances at Heaven. Trying to wait for him to unscope, trying to wait for him to get... What? Wow, that's a fast shot from Dances. Well played.
Yeah, nice shot from Dances to keep things in their favor. I think, honestly, Smooth is one of the players I'd be most worried about in that situation, especially when he's got an AWP in his hands, although... Notable mention in this game so far, actually, for me, is going to be Thomas. Stepped it up a little bit. I know we were seeing some... Yeah, I know we were seeing some issues earlier. We saw that one thing that stuck in my mind, the forgetting to click, but he has stepped up hugely in this game. Currently sitting at 25 frags and doing a great job for his team. Smooya, a little bit quieter than maybe he was earlier, but still. When you see him on those entries as a T, you've got to respect exactly what he can do with that AWP.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not always about the frags, it's sometimes about which ones are the most impactful. We haven't really seen Smooya mopping up too many eco frags, but instead getting those opening picks for his team. So the full, I wouldn't say full eco, but the nade and the 2 flashes, and then the Tech 9s, but no Kevlar. So they're opting for the bomb plant. If they can get the bomb plant, they'll be happy. Yeah,
but look at this. Xenex already going to have 2 men ready on the site. JT just sitting and waiting for them to run into his M4. The headshot's obviously going to be deadly on just 1 with no Kevlar, and this is where they want to stop that money from coming through. Brody C still going to be able to find himself the plant before the nade takes him out, but they're not going to get anything more than that, as obviously you mentioned there was no Kevlar, there was limited utility, and Xenex can just essentially run through and clean them, hoover them away with those M4 A1Ss.
So yeah, the bomb does go down, so this is going to allow the Ts to get their economy rolling, get those AWPs out smooth with the AWP, and he'll be able to buy utility and a pistol as well, I believe. So this is probably one of the most crucial rounds. If Xenex can win this and put CeX onto another force buy, we could be looking at 13-13.
Yeah, this could be the round that ties it all up. On the other side of things, it could be the round where CeX regain their form, and I think a lot of that's going to come down to this AWP battle. Dances with the perfect angle takes Smooya out immediately. He's clocking those tendencies you were talking about earlier about jumping on the train very quickly, and he just knows the man's going to be there. Nice, easy shot for him to start things off. Manages to take down 1, manages to give Xenex that lead, and this is the road they want to be on if they're going to catch up.
Already the 1-man advantage, 1 minute 20 on the clock. The bomb is in T main, but Peggy makes it 2-man advantage now. So the question is, can the Ts regroup, reform, and somehow attack this one of their bomb sites? Cinder smokes a pop dog again. The molly will push him back. So much utility and so much firepower on the Xenex side. It's so hard for him to get to the site, but Dances catches that tiny gap between electric and the smoke, takes him down. Rezu the reply, but Shaney there as well chimes in, takes down Rezu. Cinder in the 1 versus 4.
Yeah, Cinder again, just going to be looking to see what more damage he can do. Spots Dances out, grabs the headshot through the wall. 3 players left to deal with, and he's just going to be working his way towards this bomb. Not going to be easy though, as it was dropped, I think, by Smooya early on in the round, and well, it means he's going to have to open himself up to all sorts of angles to try and grab it, and unfortunately for him, that means eating one from Shaney with the 5-7, and it's exactly what you're talking about. CeX have maybe a little bit more money than thought, but they're still not going to be in a perfect position to go for a full buy here. They are going to be taking the Tech 9 armor approach, and Xenex really do have a great shot of catching them.
So if Xenex can win this, make it 13-13 and apply all the pressure to that 1 round, if they can win that 1 crucial round, they could be looking at their 16 and picking up their first win in this best of 2. So JT playing close towards B, he's going to hear those windows being crushed, and he's going to understand that Brody's going to set up for that smoke, and the question is, will they smoke off Ivy and go for a wall of smoke, try and get the bomb down and play the afterplant?
Well, thanks for a wonderful producer, we can see. Looks like we're going to be seeing a wall of smokes coming in across the site. A lot of aggression through the Tech 9. Shaney with the 5-7 deciding to respond in kind, finds himself the first. Still, they got the bomb down, and as you were saying, that is what they're going to be looking for in this one. More than this would be icing on the cake, but unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be dry. Nothing they can do to hold off the convergence of the CTs on that site. As Xenex come through with a clean round again. These guys just showing absolute dominance right now as they take their 13th.
So I believe this is going to be a tactical pause. Yeah, there's CeX with the tactical pause. The question is it too late?
Tactical pauses are always difficult like that, aren't they? Tactical pause is one of those things where you can... There's a very small window of opportunity to go for a tactical pause. There's a time when to go for it, a time not to. This might be a little bit too late, but at the same time,
it's 13-13.
It's 13-13. It's dangerous, but at the same time, as things have tied up, if they can start to take lead now, if they can really figure something out that does stump the other team, there's still a little bit of a chance. The only issue I can see them facing is that CT economy.
Thing is, though, this pause will actually hopefully break the Xenex momentum. If they can do that, if they can find the opening picks from Smooth or another player and somehow get the bomb down and play the afterplant well, they can even get this in favor of favor of them. So the question is, the winner of this round will probably end up winning the game, just due to the fact that if Xenex can reset CEX, they'll be on the force buy, be 14-13. But CX, they might just force after this. If they lose this, they might still force and try and stop Xenex trying to get to 15. What would you do, actually? This is a question. If it's 13-14, and you can force buy, or you can eco and allow Xenex to get 15, and you try to win 2 rounds yourself, or would you rather stop Xenex trying to get to 15 and force buy that round?
I mean, again, I'm not as well versed as you are in moments like this, but for me personally, it would be about trying to get that tie, trying to take it to overtime, and then
I'll be the
putting
same.
up a good performance there.
This is the higher chance of winning that round when you got the 4 rifles instead of going for that risky. I mean, you saw what happened when CX did the force buy, just get completely destroyed by Xenex. So once this tactical pause ends and we go into the round, we're going to have the AWP onto Smooya. The question is, can he find the most crucial opening picks of this game?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping we're going to be seeing him change something up here. I'm hoping that what we're going to be seeing is him playing in a different style, because we've seen before that Xenex know where he goes. They've figured out where he has a tendency to play. I mean, it's the spot you were mentioning yesterday.
Blue train, Whitehall's.
And they can catch him out in those areas because they know where to expect him. If they can actually switch things up, if he can put himself somewhere a little bit new, somewhere that might just catch them off guard, then there is the opportunity for that opening pick and then reposition.
So double up setup now for Xenex. Thing is, though, can they counter out Smooth's up? Will they allow Smooth to have such a big impact, which he has had in a few of these T rounds? Actually, CX have lost runs where Smooth has got 2 entries, but the question is, can they finally capitalize off of the entries?
Well, right now it doesn't look like he's going to be doing anything too early, which I guess is a surprise. Instead of that all-out aggression we've been seeing, he takes it a little bit slower, sets up the smokes first, and now going to be jumping in. They know to expect Dancy's here, but he's still able to find one. I think that's Thomas through Cinder as that takes 1 player down, and another to 16 points of health. Xenex now 1 man up. The bomb, though, has gone down. It's going to be CEX to hold them off at the disadvantage.
1 man lead as well for Xenex. The question is, can they get this retake rolling for them? Can they find the early frags? The problem is, it's actually Brody, I believe that is, on the B bomb site trying to get that flank in. JK, though, gets the reply. JT boosted up, spots that player. Electric takes him down. He's going to see the play towards team main as well. Smear's low HP. The thing is, though, Brody is on the flank. Can he get the backstab in? Can he get the round win for them?
It's going to have to be quick because JT's just going to be holding this one. 1 second left. And Dancy's makes sure there is no chance at all. Takes Brody out just before we see that round, or just before we see that defuse come in, rather, as Xenex take it to 14. But with the bomb plant, CEX are going to get a second go.
And they're actually going to force buy, yeah. They got the bomb down so they can have the AWP. So, double AWP set up now. This is what I mentioned with the Shocks and Smiths on G2. What they do is they have Shocks go towards Ivy and then Smiths try and get that pick from team main.
Well, hopefully we can be seeing something similar to that. Thomas is going to be heading towards Ivy. Nice and ready. Smooya as well, going to be heading out onto Blue Train once again. You have called exactly the strat they're going to be trying to pull. It's just whether they can actually make anything come off the back of it.
Thing is, though, there's not really much aggression showing from Xenex's side. I mean, they're winning the afterplants. Why would you even push and give up those frags? So, 5 versus 5. 1 minute on the clock here. Could be the first frag. Oh my goodness, Thomas catches Shaney jumping across Ivy, and this is the first pick that we needed.
Yeah, it's exactly what CX want. They want to break into these rounds, they want to get that opportunity, and now it's just going to be about whether they can follow through. They've been having trouble with it before. As you say, Xenex and the afterplants, they need to keep this one positive throughout, and that's going to help. Rezu finds himself Jakey. It's a 2-man lead now, and Xenex are going to have to come back in a big way. That will have to be a pretty decent individual performance if they want to even this one before they're stuck in that retake position.
Thing is, even if Xenex loses, they have so much money on their side, actually catching off that player off guard, but Smooya does get the reply. It's a 2-man lead. I imagine if it's Xenex, you don't even need to save. You can just push and try and get these frags, try and win the retake, even though it's not really stacked in your favor.
Yeah, it's really not an issue for these guys. As you say, they are stacked with money. And so it's going to be about the frags. And Dancy's, well, he's going to be about the frags himself. Finds one onto Brody C to start things off. Going to continue to push through, but unfortunately for him, Smooya is a little bit too quick. Spots the side, takes him down. And leaves Peggy as the last, and again, just working those slivers, he can say. Slivers, not slithers. It's not snaky anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas and Smooya, both these AWPers for the CEX side, sitting at 24 and 26 frags. So, huge impact from these AWPs coming out from CEX. The question is, in this 14-14 most vital, pivotal round of the half, who do you think is going to take it? CEX, they've got so much money.
Yep.
They can full buy, they can have whatever guns they want, whatever utility they want. They can run the double AWP setup, they can run triple AWP if they want to. What do you reckon the reply is to the double AWP setup that we just saw?
I mean, for me, it is just going to be about how they posture themselves in response, because obviously that round they're not expecting to see that other AWP coming through Ivy.
Yeah.
You can see by the way that was it Shaney who went down moves. They're just not expecting it to be there. They don't think there's a chance he's going to get picked because he jumps after the smoke's cleared. Now they know. I reckon if they get that buy-in, and as you say, Xenex have all the money in the world to spend, they're going to be in a great position to take that and keep that in mind, keep what they've had previously in mind, and try and really bring it to CeX to grab that match point and at least secure themselves overtime.
So would you say that the double AWP setup was a bit gimmicky?
I'd say potentially it is a little bit of a gimmicky play where once people have figured it out, you're going to have a much harder time. I think it's the same with any double AWP setup though. It's first round's always the most effective because people aren't necessarily expecting it. After that, it does sort of have what's it called?
Once you know it's there, once you know the double AWP's there, you play far more passive if you're the single AWP on the other team. But regardless, we've got double AWP set up on both sides here. Question is, which AWP on which side is going to have the most impact?
Well, my money's on Smooya.
Fair play, mate.
I can't stop hyping him up because this man has been phenomenal throughout today. But again, he's not going to be going quite as hard as he was. He has reined it in over the past few rounds, realizing that maybe they've got his number by now, and that there's not really any good reason for him to give his life away that quickly.
Yeah, so the slow default coming up from the T side, both these teams don't want to give away their lead. The question is though, once the round unfolds, which AWP? We keep coming back to the AWPs, but this train is such an AWP-sided map. Peggy this side, just trying to peek out, see if we can spot anything. No one's peeking them though, they're playing so passive. Will Cinder give away that lead?
Cinder not looking to peek out just yet, I don't think. Falling back in a little bit, the Molotov obviously making sure they can't get too far, and I reckon it is going to be smokes to make sure they have a little bit of cover coming through, but Dancy's again going to be on the boost. Lots of vision coming from there, no frags for him just yet, though instead it's going to be Peggy and Shaney, one apiece to start things off. Very nice for Xenex that they find themselves two men without losing anything and put themselves in a great position, even if the bomb plant goes through.
Well, they have the bomb now.
The retake.
Obviously, Cinder throwing that smoke down, grabs the bomb, and the thing is Peggy's on site, catches Thomas off guard. It's going to be the three-man lead now. Catches another player. Thomas is wide-facing, drops down, and it's actually going to be Shaney picking up Smooya. That's the last frag, and it's going to be Xenex on 15.
And another clean round.
Yeah, 5 people alive, so they don't care about the money. The thing is, it's the last one. They can care less about money.
They don't care about the money, but they still manage to make it clean. These guys on those retakes on A are just a machine.
Really good. Really good retakes from coming out from Xenex. And from 12-3 to 15-14, Xenex, they've only won CEX, they've only won 2 rounds on their T side. It's the same thing we saw yesterday when generic team name played versus UFrag, both their sides having awful T halves. But the thing is though, UFrag today showing great T half.
Yeah, Xenex seemingly unable to recover in that regard, but the CT side's still strong, so yeah. What really are you going to be complaining about if you're these guys right now? They're coming into the last round stronger than CEX by a little bit. Obviously, they're coming off the back of all that momentum, and CEX are just, again, in a position where their back's against the wall, where even if they get into overtime, they know that Xenex CT side is still going to be that.
Yeah, ball. But the thing is, all it takes was one big play from one CEX member. One big play, a 2K, 2 entries, 1 entry onto what, regardless of whatever side it is. Just something to allow CEX to get that 15 on the board and send us into overtime. Looks like it's about to be the B attack.
Yeah, JT lined up on top of the train in position Taz often uses. Unable to find quite as many frags, although does manage to pick up 2. Thomas going to be there with a response, a little bit late maybe, especially as Dancy's manages to finish him off, and it means it's going to be a 2v4 from early on, and look at that. Smooya going to be sat there trying to figure out what he can do in terms of a peek from upper. Almost caught if he decides to move, but obviously the AWPer's not as bothered about it now because Jakey is ready to come in on the flank. 2-man lead, 30 seconds on the clock. Smooya running with his knife out. Actually, yeah, he will get caught off guard. Jakey hears him though. Smooya didn't spot him. This is great play. Dancing with the nade, takes down Sin down. I think Smooya's about to go down. That's going to be game. That is a beautiful finish from Jakey. Just not even giving Smooya a little bit of a chance, not allowing him to even see him until he's behind. or until he dies rather.